The cooking and cleaning has taken a beating. My hygiene is not the same. My heart is all broken, it's busted wide open from playing your dumb little game. My friends walk past, they all seem to laugh, they smile and fake their concern. But the one thing for sure, this won't happen no more, cause the one thing that I had to learn.
Hey, everybody, this is me, Zach, coming back at you. Finally, wanted to come on and give a podcast out to a buddy I met when I was at Jessup, and his name is Richard Siler. He goes by Rocco Ben Made. If you love this podcast, do me a favor and hit that like button on the bottom, hit subscribe, and join in. We're hoping that we can bring somebody like Rocco Ben Made onto our team permanently so he'll have his own podcast. I think you're going to love his personality.
Okay.
Hey,
Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that, bro. What's going on, partner?
Tell me if it's too early for this much energy.
What they do, baby? Hey, Zach.
Yes, sir.
5-minute correct call. 5-minute correct.
I rarely went out the rec. I'm a fat boy. I rarely went out the rec. Only reason I love that is because the unit would be empty and I get to walk around.
Right.
By too many people.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Bro,
what's going on?
How long have you been? First of all, tell my viewers how long you've been out.
Okay. Out on June 28th of 2023 to the halfway house. Okay. And then from the halfway house, got out, got a job, all that. And then I was released into home detention on October 12th.
Oh, okay.
And then so I was dealing with the ankle monitor, calling in, here I am, I'm here, I'm there, all that.
Very familiar.
And that went on until April 10th, and April 10th, they cut the leg monitor off. So I haven't been off a month yet.
Wow. So really, it's like total freedom a month, but progression to freedom about a year and a half.
Right, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, about a year. The journey started in June.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
June will mark the day I walked off the compound.
Oh, all right.
June will mark the day, and I had been shipped to Oakdale, Louisiana.
Oakdale?
And I don't know how many people can see this or can hear this, but take it from me, your ass never want to go to Oakdale, okay?
Is it your black ass or just any ass? Any ass?
Any ass. I wouldn't even wish this shit on a white boy. Hey, even though they are measurably safer on that compound, if you get what I'm saying. Okay.
I get what you're saying.
So check this out. So I walk out the door, and just to show you how the Lord works, right? Okay. Right. And I can't go a morning without mentioning him. But I walk out, I wind up in Oakdale as a result of disciplinary action. They shipped me from just camp, sweetest camp in America. Of course, we all know that. And I wind up in Oakdale, and it just so happens, I'm thinking, man, who the hell gonna come see me out here? You know, because you're on that bus.
Right.
And that was my first time going through that whole thing with the plane and the handcuffs. And they are really
the handcuffs and shackles, and
the handcuffs and shackles on the plane.
Yes, inch stepping up the steps of the plane or down the steps of the plane. Crazy.
Hey, listen, and swapping niggas on the tarmac. Okay, you take these and I'll take these.
Oh yes.
And these are yes. I'm talking about niggas coming and going, and they got big planes on the tarmac.
Yes.
Chains and chains for days.
Yes.
Dozens of corrections officers or marshals making the exchange, changing the changes, everything. So
you in that line, you go to this line, you go to that line. It's crazy.
I'm on my way to Louisiana. I see about two of my homeboys on the way to Texas. Hey man, what you doing? Nigga said, what you think I'm doing? Where you
Only where I
going?
don't want to go.
Like, nigga, where you going? Where you think I'm going? Hell, you mean where I'm going? But you seeing niggas from your childhood in
Yes,
passing 3 states away. And I'm looking at all these planes, and I get off this one plane in Oklahoma City.
right.
You ever been there?
Yes.
Where you
Only
walk
one
off
though.
the
Only one.
plane and right into the prison. And
Really?
they take 20 at a time. Give me the next
Oh
20.
yeah. You talking
And
about
you
in
walk up and you
Oklahoma?
stand on these boxes, and there's
Yes.
20 marshals in front of you, unhooking the shackles and click, 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 click. And I look around me, man, and I say to myself, man, the one thing I can say about these white folks is they will reinvest in their business
Yes.
because that
Yes.
shit ran smooth.
Well,
That shit ran smooth,
Oklahoma,
bro.
they do that for a living. Oklahoma does that for a living. They do that for a living.
Bro,
So
bro. They said take all that. They said, hey, old feller, take all that stuff you got and just throw that in the trash.
wow.
And they gave me all brand new everything right out the pack to show you how much money is being spent in the system. To show you how much money they're making in their business, they can afford to give you all brand new T-shirt, boxers, socks,
To
uh, each person. All
going
right.
through there for 20,
And then
50
the
minutes.
next morning, when I left, took it from me and threw it back in the trash. The next morning, bro.
Wow.
The next morning.
Well,
Now
once
that
it's
might not have registered to the average brother, but to me, I was like, damn, did you just invest in some shit so that you could house me for the night? And if
well,
that is the fact,
was it during the pandemic? Was it during the pandemic? They might have been trying to be extra cautious.
it was on the heels of the pandemic.
Oh, so they might have been just being extra cautious.
Yeah, because certain people were doing quarantine and certain people weren't. Tallahassee had just come off quarantine.
Oof.
And when I got to Oakdale, they made me do quarantine at one facility.
Right,
They got two loads that sit side by side. I mean, exactly side by side.
right.
And they both hold 2,000 people. One is 98% Mexican, not
Wow.
Puerto Rican, not Cuban,
But
not
Mexican.
Colombian,
Well,
Mexican.
are you were they illegal Mexicans or just people here illegally?
Precisely.
Huh?
Serranos on one side of the
Oh,
compound
whew.
and Paisa on the other,
Wow. Yes. You
with
know,
a couple.
in that, I find that some white boys get tangled up in that sometimes. It don't always
There
be
were some
white
white
women.
boys. There were some white boys tangled up in it,
Oh, okay. So
and
yeah.
there were some, also some illegal Haitian Americans
Oh.
without papers. They had a hard time adjusting.
Where
Needless
is
to say,
Oakdale anyway? It's in
huh?
Louisiana, but what part? Like near New Orleans, near
It's
Shreveport?
near 70 miles from a place called Lafayette. And getting back to my story, my little brother had just met a girl that lives in Lafayette.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm saying to myself, Lafayette, Lafayette. Who do I know in Lafayette? I said, oh shit, my brother's out here twice a week, twice a month, I think.
Right.
Because I'm in a box, I got no access to phone, no access to anything.
Right.
And sure enough, I was on the compound when they finally let me out the box. They had me in the Mexican prison. They let me out of there out of quarantine for 1 month. After 1 month, and
Uh-huh.
after 1 month, they let me out, put me on the compound, on a regular compound where the brothers were, the American
Right.
compound.
Right.
And as soon as I stepped on the compound over there, they quarantined me over there for another month. Right.
Rough.
And that week I got out. The week I got out, he came to see me.
Oh,
And that was January. And then the next thing I know,
Right.
as that date started coming toward me, it was before I know it was June 28th. They came and picked me up, and I got a picture, man. I'm gonna send it to you of me and him hugging out front. I'm like 240 now, right? At the time,
I don't know if that means you
I,
gained or lost weight.
I lost weight since the last time you saw me. When
Oh,
you saw
okay.
me, I was like 280, 290.
Oh, wow.
But yeah. So I trimmed up. But when he came and got me, I was 220.
He must have been scared.
Man, look, he was, and you know when you lose, you know when big dudes lose weight, you be like, man, look, I'm looking good because you ain't seen a six pack in a long time. But to your people, that shit looking like one or two things. One of them is malnutrition, and you know what the other thing is.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This nigga needs some medicine.
Crackhead or meth
This,
head.
nigga- this nigga needs this nigga needs some medication. Shit. This nigga sick. They think of that.
Then it's three
Yeah.
things. It's three
Yeah, three
things.
things then. Because
Listen,
yeah,
I had the
I
same
guess they got
experience.
crack they do got crackheads in there.
Oh,
Most
yeah.
likely on Tunchi. But
I had
uh
the same experience. My mom came and saw me when I was in the box, and I had been in there about 5 months, and I lost
oh
so much.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. A long story. We have to talk about that one day. But I lost so
yeah.
much weight. She was scared. She was calling the prison, accusing them of doing something to me. They came and told me to call my mom and let her know I was fine. Yeah. Like I lost that much weight, and I didn't think I looked that bad. And she saw
Yo,
me.
you don't see
What are
it.
you doing to my son? Huh?
Yeah. You don't see it because you only going from the cell to the shower and back every day and
Right.
hollering down the
And you,
hall at niggas and shit.
yeah, and you just
Hey,
looking
let me get that book when you finish.
yeah,
All that
and you
kind of
just looking
shit.
in a mirror made out of tinfoil behind
Out of
plastic.
polished aluminum.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
that's it.
Hey,
That's it.
so you spending your life looking in the damn looking at your reflection in what used to be a bicycle fender.
Right.
Crazy,
Oh
man.
man. So tell me, all right. So let's go back first, because I do want my viewers to know you did play with the Dolphins, right?
Yeah, I did.
What year was that?
Back in the late '80s, I played for the Dolphins and the Cardinals.
And the Cardinals?
I was the number one tight end in the country for 3 years.
Get out of here.
1 year in high school, and 2 years in college. The two separate times in college, I was considered number one tight end in college.
Get out of here. You know
Yeah.
what I always thought was funny is just knowing you, that's not something that you even talk about or brag about. But
No.
once you mentioned that, right? Like
Right.
my mind took me to like I remember seeing you on TV. Like I remember
Right.
watching you, you're like seeing your name. I'm like, you know what? I have seen his name on the back
Right.
of a Miami Dolphin jersey. This was
Right.
back with Marino, right?
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I also have a nephew that won a national championship at the University of Florida.
Really?
Yeah, he played with Tim Tebow. His name was Brandon Siler. He wound up playing about 9 years in the National Football League. I think 8 with the San Diego Chargers and 1 with the Kansas City Chiefs. And
Wow.
his father bounced around the league for about 10 or 11 years. His name was
Wow.
Clarence Siler. Yeah. That's the one that came to pick me up.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where were you born? Like, your childhood.
I was born in Miami, Florida. I'm
In the little
originally from Liberty City, what they now call the 40s.
the 40.
And my father was a a prize fighter. He was a heavyweight champion.
Wow.
And he fought Muhammad Ali.
No.
Yeah, little known fact. His name was Herb Siler.
Herb
And
Siler fought
growing up
Muhammad
as a
Ali.
kid, well, he was Cassius Clay at the time,
Oh.
but hey, he fought Muhammad Ali. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, all them fights before he was Muhammad Ali don't count. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all those fights before, but they would have counted if he would have knocked his ass out like he was supposed to. But and he claimed he won, but you know how that
Well,
shit go.
Uncle Crazy,
These old school black dudes, man, that work at the gym
right?
after they done construction all day.
Oh yeah,
You know, black men. You know, black men. You know, we're not the what's what I'm looking for. We're not
good in communication.
we're not the genuine article
Oh, okay,
like your dad and
right,
their dad
right.
based on
Oh,
the
okay,
shit they had to endure. And
right.
it does me good to think about that a lot of times. But anyway, yeah, he was a prize fighter, man. He fought Liston and he fought Ernie Terrell. He fought I think he sparred with Floyd Patterson. He fought Cassius Clay and
Wow.
Jimmy Ellis and and then he went to prison. Pretty much like you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
my life pretty parallel to his. He
So
went to
you
prison.
rise all the way, rise super high, and then take
Right,
a fall.
right.
Was it
But
kind of the same reasons, or was it different reasons that he went?
yeah, originally it was the same reason because my first case unfortunately was a manslaughter case. So
Oh goodness.
he went for manslaughter, I went for manslaughter. But he did his initial 10 years. He did 10 years for that. And he
Right.
got out, became a model inmate, got a college degree, got his AA degree in there, graduated high school in there, uh, joined the AA. He got out, and when he got out, he had he worked on work release for so long.
Right.
When he got out, the nigga had an Amex and a MasterCard.
What?
Yeah,
They gave
yeah.
him one?
My old man was listen. My old man did that rehab thing, did that re-entry thing, what they call re-entry now, handled
Right.
it like a beast. That guy went on Herb Siler. My dad's so proud of him. Anybody could Google him anything they want. My life is an open book, which my mother protests that. But he wound up using all of those benefits that you get when you get out of prison, when it
Right.
comes to small business loans and all that. He wound up with a construction company called Express Concrete, and his motto was, "You tried the rest, now try the best. You can't go
Amen.
wrong when you use Express."
Amen.
Hey,
I love
listen,
it. I love it.
5595 Northwest 17th Avenue, Miami, Florida. That's the heart of Liberty City, baby.
I
And
love it.
and owned and bought the building that became his office and got a city contract his best year. And I didn't find this out until posthumously to our crowd after the nigga was dead.
Wow.
And I didn't find out until after he was dead, his best year, he made $880,000
Oh my goodness.
in
Back this is
1986.
back in the 86.
In 1986, that cat made $880,000. Those
Oh
are exact figures.
wow.
And
Doing what?
I ain't made that since then. Shit, it's
What was he doing?
2024.
What was he
I haven't even encroached that.
well, what was he doing?
The nigga was doing sidewalk replacement. That was the city contract. So
Wow.
his job was to drive all over Dade County, way down Homestead, Cutler Ridge, Goose, Perrine, uh, Richmond Heights, come up through South Miami, Coconut Grove, hit Overtown, hit Liberty City, Browns,
Wow.
Opelika, Carroll City, all those places, looking for cracks in the sidewalk. When we found a crack in the sidewalk, we got out. I jackhammered it. Da 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 da. Took up the chunks, raked it out. My older brother formed it up, and then him and his former drinking buddies would come and pour it. All right, they would do the slab. All right, and all that, and go to the next, go find the next sidewalk.
And made $800,000. That's absolutely impressive.
900, but basically 900, bro. I don't know how much money that would be in today's money, but I was very, very proud when I found that out. And I always kept that in mind the entire time I was in there, that when I got out, I was going to do the same thing he did.
Well, you might be on your way. You got to find out what career works for you. But before we go into like how you're adjusting, how did you get into the NFL? What college did you go to? And
I went as a result of a divorce. My parents split because after his boxing career, he became an alcoholic.
Oh.
And if you're a young little tender thing from the country roads of Madison, Florida, and your family, the rest of your 9 brothers and sisters are in Daytona with your mom, and you got left in Miami because the family moved there and it didn't work out. You got left behind with the prize fighter who mama owned the corner store and all that. So you were taken care of. But when this nigga get drunk, that's not a good combination. Being the 17-year-old, 18-year-old wife of a heavyweight champion with a drinking problem. That shit wasn't working.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So my mom will oftentimes say, she never took boxing formally, but she knew how to fucking avoid a punch real damn good. She'll say that now. And then
it's the highlight of boxing.
Yeah, exactly. So and then she left there and came to Daytona, and of course she brought the kids after the custom battle and everything. So that's how I wound up with 2 hometowns. If you remember on that compound, niggas would say, "Why you telling people you from Daytona?" I ain't told nobody shit. And then niggas from Daytona say, "Why you telling me from Miami?" I ain't told nobody shit. Them niggas know me from Daytona, and them niggas know me from Miami, bro. There's nothing I can do about that.
Places? You can be from 2 places.
I got 2 hometowns.
There you go.
I got 2 hometowns because I was born and raised there, but I was educated here. So I left high school here, right? I went to college at the University of Illinois. I was supposed to go to Clemson. Me and the refrigerator Perry were supposed to be roommates.
Get out of here.
All right. Yeah, we had kicked it the summer before our senior season. We kicked it the whole summer together. Took trips together. Refrigerator Perry. We went to South Carolina together. Watched George Rogers run the year George Rogers won the Heisman Trophy. That was also the year that Doug Flutie came into prominence. I saw Doug Flutie play as I was being recruited. I saw Jim Kelly play as I was being recruited. I saw Dan Marino play as I was being recruited.
He was an underrated quarterback.
Who?
He had Jim Kelly.
Not within football circles.
Oh, okay.
And he was at Miami at the time when it was just coming into greatness. The head coach there was a coach by the name of Howard Schnellenberger. You remember that name?
Yes.
Yeah. Howard Schnellenberger, when everybody think of the University of Miami, they think of Jimmy Johnson. They think of the other guy that came from Oregon, I forgot his name. When it comes to head coaches. But the first head coach to win a national championship at Miami was Howard Schnellenberger, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that. But yeah, Schnellenberger came to my house and recruited me. And my mom and dad, my mom and my grandmother, who I lived with in Miami, they weren't there.
Right.
Because they were working people. They were from Alabama. And they used to You were a working class family when they pronounce the word work, WEK.
Work.
They say my grandma would tell you quick, she would say, Zach, you can't sit up here and play on the phone all day. Baby, you got to work. You ain't going to work today? Why you ain't going to work? You know what I mean?
Yes.
They were serious about that shit. Then my dad would come in.
That means it's serious. That means it's
Hey,
serious.
and then my dad would come. My dad lived on the property in the house right next door, the same property. He don't want to work because he sounded like his mama. You got to work. No, everybody in this house gonna work. So you're gonna work. You got to work. So they was at work when Snellberger came, and I told them to come back if they wanted to meet him. They came back, and before they were able to come back, as soon as my grandma pulled up in that old Ford Fairmont, the lady from next door came across the street and said, "Oh, Miss Jackson, the detective was over at your house today."
What?
He was talking about the coaches, man.
Oh.
You see a white man in suits in a rental car, you automatically assume
it's the FBI.
Yeah, this the feds,
Right.
goddammit.
Right. So they
Incredible.
came. So what's your
So
first?
anyway, I didn't go to I turned that down. That would have been 2 national championships.
Yeah.
I turned down Clemson, which I definitely should have gone to. That was a national championship. And I wound up at the University of Illinois
With no national championships.
with no national, trying to get up north. Learned a lot of good football. Met a lot of good coaches. Met a lot of good players. I had the pleasure of playing with 2 first-round draft choice quarterbacks there.
Who?
One was named Tony Eason, who went on to play with the Patriots and lost in the Super Bowl to the Chicago Bears when they had that great team. And the second one was he was a little lesser known, but his name was Jack Trudeau.
Trudeau.
Yeah, Jack Trudeau was drafted by the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But that system at Illinois, they threw the shit out the ball. And that's what that and Chicago pussy is the reason why I went to the University of Illinois.
What order? In what order did you put it? Like, what came first? You know, the football or the Chicago pussy? I'm trying to figure out.
Well, they were breaking passing records. They had a brand new coach by the name of Mike White that brought in the California system. All right. Oh. So they were passing like 650 yards a game. But to be honest with myself, I'd have to say it was the California pussy. I'm sorry, the Chicago pussy.
That's right.
Because guess what? For some reason, and I grew up in Florida, right?
Right.
It took me a longer time to figure out when a girl in high school said, "Oh, boy, get from by me," that she really liked me. I didn't realize that until later.
Till you got in Chicago.
I didn't realize that I was decent looking until I started going on these trips to other cities and other states, and girls were stopping. But in Chicago, they were telling me, you know what, you could get it. I was like, what? They were still, and I was at a party. I was at a party.
Right.
And at this apartment, and they was wearing all this up north shit, up north hairstyle, up north language, dialect. It was cool. And I had began writing already.
Right.
So I writing, and I was a big writer and I was a big reader. And I always wanted, I was kind of enamored with life up north, and they did not disappoint, bro. They were like, look, I'm getting ready to fall out that door. My apartment is like 2 doors down. We can dip out and come back and nobody will ever notice we're gone. This was on my recruiting trip. I'm a senior. And I did that about 3 times that night. I was like, I'm coming to school in this bitch. Hey, listen, it was like, hey man, Clemson offered you blah blah blah. Miami offered you blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, but I done fucked 3 times a night. And each time I disappeared, the bitch looked like Jane Kennedy. Each one of them girls were beautiful, bro. I screwed 3 times in one night on my trip, to Illinois, bro.
That would have made me go also. That's what got me at University of Texas. That would have made me go also.
You went to Texas?
Yeah.
In Austin?
Austin.
I can't believe that. Because listen, when the Chicago pussy got old, guess where I transferred to?
Austin?
Texas A&M.
Ah, but that's in round Red Rock.
That's in College Station.
College Station, yeah, I think. Right.
But I've been on 6th Street down on the drag.
On the drag.
Many a night. Raising hell.
Days,
hey, me and my friends kidnapped Bevo.
Really?
Yeah, not the mammal. The mascot.
The mascot. Was that you guys that year? Because that happened. Was that you guys that year that happened?
Yeah, we kidnapped him. We kidnapped him. We asked him. My buddy asked him to wear the head, and he pushed him. And I was with. Hey, listen. What years were you at Texas?
From 86 to 92.
No.
Yes.
We almost went to college at the same time, bro. At those 2 schools.
Yeah, I played 86 through 88 before I.
Oh, I didn't know that, Zach.
Yeah, tight end.
So you played on a team with Metcalf.
Yes.
And James Harris.
No,
at tight end.
James Harris wasn't. I was before them.
What about Marcy Cade?
No, the quarterback was Applewhite.
Oh.
I was before them.
So let me see who the quarterback I think that y'all had when I was there was Rick McIver.
Yeah, that was before.
And Todd Dodge.
Yes.
And then on defense, y'all had a big dude named Tony DeGrady.
Yes.
Y'all had Marcy Cade. Y'all had Jerry Gray.
Yes, he went through.
And a white boy by the name of Ty Allard.
Yep. Ty Allard.
And I drug his ass. I drug his all Southwest Conference ass. I drug the shit out of Ty Allard, bro. I couldn't stand Ty Allard, bro.
You couldn't.
I couldn't. But we won a combo that year, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we won a combo that year.
Huh? Right, so skipping, because most of my viewers tune in because it's kind of a crime podcast. So I talk a little bit about a lot of the things that's going on, but most of them love to hear the story about the success. So how have you been doing since you've been? But I want to have you back so we can visit some of these football stories for real.
Okay. Well, right now, bro. Right now, I just bought me a 2021 Subaru, nigga.
Subaru?
Got me a damn Subaru, nigga.
Subaru?
Brand new on the leather.
On the which type of Subaru?
The Crosstrek.
Oh man.
It's like the smallest SUV they got, but it's also the sporty.
Oh, it's
my big ass.
To me, that SUVs look like station wagons.
The one I got looks like a little white boy will buy it to put surfboards and shit on top. Yeah. And guess what? And that is by design, my friend. Because I get behind the wheel and I put this bitch on like this.
You know
what? People don't realize though, man. There's something intrinsic in us. A switch flicks. When you see a cop, I got a license for the first time in 20 years, nigga. I got a license, right? I got registration. I got registration and insurance, nigga. Nigga can't tell me nothing. But boy, When I
Right.
see that, when I see their ass, my ass tighten up still. I don't know why. I straighten up.
Yes, sir.
I give him the nod. Hey, you know what? I give him a nod and the
Hands on the
thumbs up.
steering wheel like this.
Yeah. Hey. And when they stop me, I already got my script already. I said, "Oh my God, my wife's gonna kill me." How fast was I going? Yeah, man. She crazy out here, bro.
It is.
She
How
crazy.
are you
Hey,
adapting? How are you
listen.
adapting?
You know what, man? By the grace of God, right? I came into a situation that was kind of custom built for me, right?
We always
My
do.
mom is in the home that we grew up in by herself,
Oh.
and she was kind of catching it. They got this shit going on right now, and I've been wanting to address this, and I've been waiting for these politicians to address it. But they got this shit going on right now where they jacking people's home insurance up, and they don't want to adjust it based on shit like the electrical box.
Right.
So she's eligible for a more affordable homeowners insurance, but she got to have the electrical box changed, and the electrical box costs $4,000.
What?
So I moved in. I said, "Mark, move in, and we can save some money." And she said, "Okay, baby, let's do that." And so that's what we did. And the way the house is built, she's on the northeast corner, and I'm in the southwest corner. And
Rarely do YouTube's paths cross. Is that what it is?
well, no, that's not where the two plans cross because, man, I'll tell you the truth. What I'm finding out is my mom is gonna be 81 in August. What I find out, man, is my mom had gotten a little lonely. So when I come through here after work, because I work on the phone like you, I'm in sales like you are,
Right.
right? And I come through here telling my lies for the day, and I'm tired. And I usually got, at one time, I had my girl in tow because I had the ankle monitor on, and she was taking me back and forth everywhere,
Right.
right? And she would say, "Y'all sit down for a minute and talk." And that kind of became the highlight of my day, man.
Oh.
That kind of became the highlight of my day because my mama was asking me to talk. And that's not the mama I remember. You know what I mean?
The mom you
The
remember asked you to shut up. Is that what it was?
the mom I remember, boy, sit your ass down somewhere. Pa! God damn! Get you that part of the back that you can't reach this shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I got a greater appreciation for her now. The shit she went through. Bro.
Amen.
So now the gig that I got on the phone pitching, right?
Right.
And I'm basically on straight commission. The only way I get hourly is if I blank. You know what I'm saying?
You doing it,
So
bro.
yeah, got a checking account, a
And
savings
how's your
account.
sales? How's your sales numbers?
My sales, my sales are as strong as my pen is, right?
Right.
And I keep finding out your pitch is fine for me to go by,
Right.
but that's not what's going to move people. You have to venture off that pitch.
Oh
So
yeah. You gotta put your
my thing with them is my thing with the office is they want you to say it exactly like this, and I'm saying no. I'm perfecting this all the time. So when the people on the phone say, "Well, am I going to get any money back?" Because they're trying to dump their timeshare,
right.
and they've dumped $25,000-$30,000 into a property that they're not even using,
Right.
and they want to know if they're going to get any money back. They're paying a maintenance fee every year from between $800 and $1,200 for something that they're not even using. Okay, so I tell them the answer is no. I can get rid of this for you. I can get rid of the maintenance fee, but you're not going to get any of that money back. So what I did, and what I did to increase sales, I told them, yeah, you're going to get some money back. And they say, well, what money am I going to get back? The $1,200 you're paying every year that you'd be paying if you had met me. That's what you'll be getting back.
That's what you'll get back. You're not going to get the
Right.
money for the actual property, but for the money that they've been paying
You
you.
won't get anything. You won't get anything that you spent in the past. But if you hadn't met me, you'd be constantly spending it in the future.
Makes sense.
So that's the money you'd be getting back. So take those $1,200 and put it away, and start an education fund or a vacation fund or whatever you want to. But keep in mind one thing: who needs the money more, your grandkids or theirs?
Good point. Good
Okay,
point.
fantastic. Let's get you started.
Let's get you signed up, please. For your what is it? Money back guarantee. Let's get that rolling.
Yeah, the money back guarantee is for 12 months, and it is in black and white and ironclad, very easy to follow. And it
Right.
states if my company cannot take you to full termination over a 12-month period, then we are legally required to refund that money to the penny, and we'll place it back on your Visa, MasterCard, Amex, or Discover.
Right.
So really, you don't stand to lose, right?
That's right.
And the other guarantee that you get from your card company, that's the
Well,
second guarantee.
well, explain the type of work. It's a what type of work is it that you're doing?
I do timeshare contract cancellation,
Timeshare contract cancellation. And
right?
so the money back would be if they don't get out of the timeshare.
You pay me an enrollment fee.
Right.
You pay legal fees up front in order to cancel that contract, so it's no longer in your name.
Oh, okay.
You no longer have any financial responsibility to it, because people don't realize when they buy a timeshare, they sign a contract to pay a maintenance fee for life. You sign a contract, and I tell them all the time, you walked in there 20 years ago and purchased this thing, and you signed the contract without ever reading it. And the way I know that you never read it, because if you had read it, you darn well would not have signed it.
I know
So
this.
come on,
You
Bob,
know
let's
this
get
because
you
you're getting them
started.
out of it. You know this because you're
Huh?
getting them out. You know this because you're getting them out of it. That's
I'm
why you
getting them
know
out
that you
of it.
wouldn't sign that
But
contract.
but the benefit I have is that in my start in sales back in 1994 was at a timeshare resort called Powhatan Plantation in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Oh wow.
When I would actually meet and greet the people and sell them timeshare.
Ah,
And that, for me, that was the best training ground ever.
right.
You're not
Right.
going to meet a more thorough, more effective training process than meeting somebody on their way to Disney World or
Right.
on their way to Busch Gardens and say, hey, just step in here for a second,
Right.
and get them to put and then get them to purchase a $15,000 timeshare.
Right.
So now, years down the road, I know exactly what they went through at the table. I know what the guy told them. I
Right.
know what's in the contract. I know what they signed. I know what they have to look forward to, and therefore, it gives me a clearer, more helpful perspective when it comes to why you should get rid of this bitch. You don't need this. You don't need
Not
it.
with all that. Not with all that money anyway. All that cost.
No. But then they say, well, so why do I got to pay you $5,000 to get out of it?
Well, I mean that's where the sales part comes in. What I was going to ask you is about that. What is the craziest phone call you've had on that job?
The craziest phone call I've had, man, I get crazy phone calls every day.
Oh, I'm sure. But like if I say that, which one comes to mind? Like, man, I had a dude or I had a lady.
I had a lady that owned 5 weeks of timeshare, 5 weeks at Wyndham.
Really?
She pays, let me get this right. She pays $700 a month in maintenance fee
At a Wyndham?
at a Wyndham, right? She's got some ungodly number of points. And
Wow.
I say, listen, you're paying $700 a month, okay? That's over $8,000 a year. I can get you out of this thing right now for $16,995. You never have to worry about it again. It's gone. She looks at me and says, that is a lot of money. I said, how long have you owned this thing? 25 years. How many times have you used it? 3 or 4 times. You've owned it just 3 or 4 times. You paying $8,000 a year for damn near 25 years. You telling me this is a lot of money? She says, it is. I said, okay, well, I'm going to do something for you. She says, what? I said, I'm gonna change the price. She says, okay, well, you told me it was gonna be $16,995. How much is it gonna be now? I said, 24,550. She said, $24,550. That's even more. That doesn't make any sense, does it? I said, yes, it does, because now you'll see the value in the price that I gave you the first time.
That's not a crazy caller. That's a crazy line by you. Did you get that sale?
Well, listen, that shit went right down. She said, you know what she said?
What?
She says, well, let me get my MasterCard before the fucking price goes up anymore. Yeah.
That's
I
not a
crazy
crazy
phone
caller.
calls all the time, bro.
That's not a crazy caller. That's a crazy tactic. That's what
Hey,
that is. That's
listen.
crazy. And you have to know
Hey,
your
listen.
customer to pull some shit like that off, bro. That ain't no run of the mill bullshit. You gotta know.
Well, listen, bro. You really have to get in these people's shit sometimes.
Yeah, I see that.
You really have to get in these people's shit sometimes. Even in all sales,
yeah,
you gotta get these people's shit. You know what I'm saying? I tell them, look. I said, listen. Yeah, when I bought the darn thing, they told me I could do this, and I could do that, and I could do this, and I could do that, and I could do this, and I'm just pissed off about the whole damn thing. I'm fed up with it. I said, listen, bro, check this out. You walked in to that showroom. Some guy showed you around. He charmed you. He charmed your wife. He showed you a brochure with some beautiful vacation homes in some beautiful locations. And you went down like a sack of potatoes. You never read that contract.
right.
Why are you pissed? Why are you pissed at me? Don't be pissed at me for your poor decision making. Luckily enough for you, I'm giving you the opportunity to atone. So if anything, you should be happy as hell that you met. You should be happy as hell that you met me.
I need to try a couple of these lines. Listen,
Yeah.
one line. Where did you meet your girl?
My current girl, I met on Hinge.
On where?
On Hinge.
On
I met her online.
Isn't that the disappearing website?
The one. No, this is the one with the H. He walks around looking like a sponge, and he's by the pool.
Yeah, on the commercials, and it's supposed to disappear.
Does he? I don't know. I don't know if he does or not.
You say your current one, was there one before this one that you had to get rid of?
You mean the one? You know, you got 2 sets. You got pre-bid and post-bid romances.
No, and they're supposed to be the same, but obviously you done went and separated them. You know what I'm saying?
I separated. They separated themselves. Because look, Zach,
Talk to me.
I had the most beautiful Puerto Rican girl in the world.
Right.
Tough it out with me for 9.5 years. And when I stepped out that door, I expected her. And when I got my first weekend off, and she had moved to New York. I expected your ass to be here.
Right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a logical
And
expectation.
I paid for it.
Oh
But since
wow.
your kids, and I was in Orlando at the time, but since your kids live uh in Fort Lauderdale,
Right.
you wanted to schedule something with my money concerning so that you could accommodate both parties. Come here and see me and then jump and go see them. And I was like, no, that's not what we're doing, not after 9.5 years. And
Right.
we never recovered from that issue.
Wow.
So, and that was sad. And to tell you the truth, I kind of miss her right now because you can't replace a motherfucker that's been with you for 9.5 years in the joint.
No, you can't. Do you guys still
Yeah.
talk?
Uh,
That's a no.
we was talking, and she was surprised at how the relationship I'm in right now started as a ride
As a
because
what?
I work 32 miles away from Daytona, right? So my office is 32 miles away from where I'm sitting right now.
Oh
And I had
wow.
an ankle monitor on and no car. So I was catching Uber every day. I was
That's
catching,
Ubering.
yeah, I was actually catching a Lyft. $40 to get there and $40 to get home. So I was paying $8 a day. So I was making a little bit. I was making a little
Oh,
bread.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Needless to say, I feel like it's worth it to spend $80 to get to work.
Right.
So, anyways, I was at work one Saturday doing some Saturday calls, and I was on my hands. I saw her, and it said those magic numbers associated with her name: 5 feet 10 inches. I was like, over the call. Yeah, you know what I mean?
5'10" is you love them tall?
Yeah, something about the feet going up like this, and she's like, hey, man, like, hey, hey, them
Hey,
feet go,
hey.
when them feet say, I be like, hell yeah. So anyway, I called her and she says, I live down the street from your office. I was like, really? I was like, you want to go out? I said, we can't go out, but I'll explain to you when you come by and see me.
Oh, so
Because she was like,
you
you are
didn't
handsome. Huh?
expose your ankle jewelry immediately.
I didn't want to expose that.
All
But I'm
right,
gonna tell you,
understood.
she had very, and guess what? And she started with the you're very handsome shit. You are very handsome.
Ooh,
And guess what? I found out she was from
well,
Chicago, where I can do no wrong. I can do no wrong when it comes to bitches in
that's your
Chicago,
type
man.
of town. That's
For
your
some
town.
reason, I'm that type of nigga. But look, and I ain't been back there in 30 years. But
Okay.
look, so she came and she said, she said, well, yeah, I guess. She says, when are you gonna be home? I said, matter of fact, you come take me home now, and I'll entitle you to 50% of what I was gonna pay the Uber driver. So she said, how much does the Lyft cost? I said 40. She says, let me punch this in real quick. She says, if you were to go on my Lyft right now, it costs 50. So I said, how much you charge me? She said, give me 50%. I said, okay, I'll give you 50% upon arrival. No questions asked, no strings attached. And we
Right.
could talk, from here to Daytona, and you could determine from that point if you want to go on a date with me.
Oh,
And we've been together ever since.
nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Sounds like a nice lady too. I like hearing when she was on the phone.
Nice lady, very tough, very intelligent, very headstrong, very independent.
That's
And but I like that. I like that. I like that. I got you. I got your mentality.
What's the I got you? Like tricked you or you mine, I'm yours.
No, that like God damn baby, I'm at work right. I'm at work right now. Got no money on my cash app, and my mama just called me and said she need $150. Don't worry about it. I got you. Checks me your mama's cash app. You just give it back to me later. You give it back to me tonight at dinner.
There you go. I love that.
Not that she giving me no money. It's just
Right.
that finally I got a bitch that got it. You know what I'm
Amen.
saying?
I actually love that also. Yes, that's a good trade. That's a good
Yeah,
trade.
I got you. I got you. Okay, nigga,
I
you gonna pay
got
me
you.
back when I see you. You
That,
know what I'm
that,
saying? I like the type to say I got you and you don't gotta pay him back too.
well, I know
But
the
but
other I
I'll
got
settle for
you
this for
is
right now.
the other I got you is I'm gonna send you 150. Then 30 minutes later, did you send that? Yeah, I'm gonna send it. 30 minutes later, did you send that? Yeah, I'm gonna send it. After a day, you be like, you know what? He got me.
Yeah, he got me. That's the difference. Yeah, that type of gotcha right there, I don't fuck with. You know what the number one thing is I learned in prison, man?
What?
What's the number one thing you learned in prison, Zach?
Um, pertaining, there's a lot of things I learned, but
Yeah,
there's
but the
something
number one thing you learned, huh?
the number one thing I learned is it doesn't matter what other people think about me. That was the one thing
Okay.
I used to live life in that. And when I went to prison, like that type of concern used to bother me. But then now it's kind of like I coming out of prison, I realized it doesn't matter what other people think. There are certain people I care about what they think, but I don't what the masses think I don't care about. That's the number one thing I learned. But I
Yeah,
got things in different aspects that are up top. But the number one thing I learned is that it doesn't matter. Everybody doesn't have to like me. So like
yeah,
if you
because
don't like me, okay, I can
to those that mind, it don't matter, and to those that matter, it don't mind.
there you go.
Hey,
I
but
love
look, but check this out. The number one thing I learned in prison is you don't need no motherfucking body. You don't need no motherfucking body.
that. Amen.
When I seen them niggas take that Hershey paper and take that AA battery and make fire, I said, boy, a nigga don't need, I turned into Bernie Mac on ass. I said, nigga don't need nobody. You don't need nobody. You niggas made fire.
That's right.
These niggas made fire out of candy paper and a battery.
That's right. I ain't scared of nobody. That's right.
Man, that
I
shit
ain't scared of
inspired
you.
me, bro.
That's right.
That shit inspired me, man. When I seen these niggas making some of these dishes, the first time I seen a nigga make a real pizza, man, with cheese in the crust all the way around.
Yes.
Are you kidding me, man?
Out of sliced bread and water. Yes, I've seen all
Man,
that.
listen. I ain't seen that was that.
What did they make the bread out of? What did they make
Out of the damn the tortilla rolls.
Oh, the one I had took the crust off the bread he had a pack of bread. He took the crust off of it, put a little bit of water in that bread.
Oh yeah, and mashed it together. Right. I had that one. I had that one.
And put them cheese sticks in the side. Yes.
I had that one. What about the cheesecake?
Oh, listen. Only Cheesecake Factory out here topped a cheesecake I ate in that. Cheesecake I ate in that was so delicious.
Yeah,
Brother told me
man.
the secret was he was actually putting cheese in it.
Right.
Because
That mozzarella.
This is unreal. And
Right.
so he was actually using real cheese. You know,
Yeah.
the Cheesecake Factory used the cream cheese, which is real cheese. But
cream cheese, but you take cream cheese, mozzarella, and the secret ingredient was that flavored creamer. The flavored creamer and the Kool-Aid pack. And that's what gives it the taste.
Yes,
But that
sir.
showed me, bro. Hey, listen, man. If you could do all that shit in there with limited resources
You don't need
and
nobody.
no freedom to speak of, then when you get your black ass out here, you can do anything.
That's right. You don't need nobody. You're right.
You can do anything, bro.
You're right.
Just
You're absolutely
gotta
right.
keep your feet moving, man. That's
You're
why I'm
absolutely
proud when I see cats like you handling that business, man. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you. You know,
I got I,
you inspired me, right? And when you say that, you're right. You inspired because listen, like I had a rough road in prison because I went from a low to a medium, from a medium to a pen, from a pen back to a medium, right? And
oh right,
in that entire transition, I want to tell you something. In that entire transition, up until you, I was the only black person of substance that was teaching an ACE class. Everything else
oh
was
wow,
or somebody would teach it just to sell the certificates. You had
right,
that creative writing class, and when I stepped foot in your class, I was so awe-inspired. It was unbelievable. And at that time, it had just started cranking up. It's at Jessup when you had all them poets when
right,
True had them poets come in and them dudes were giving poetry that I thought for sure needed to be on television. I'm like,
right,
I go, the real minds are missing out on this beautiful collaboration because they did it
right,
fantastic. They hijacked your class at that time. you
right.
you came in at the end talking about your book where it was about I wanted to read that book. It was about a couple. You know what I'm saying? Oh, give me a minute to think about it because it was basically about a guy and his wife, and he was kind of tired of his wife. Is at the house. It was a book you were writing at the time you were at Jessup. Do you remember what it
Right.
was? What was that book?
It was a Miami story, the inner city saga of an urban American hero.
Yes, yes. Where it's just a plain old black dude and his wife at the house, and he was and his.
No, he broke his ankle. He broke his ankle
Get me right now.
on Monday Night Football, and she took him home, and he didn't want to talk to nobody, and all he wanted to do is have his best friend come over and bring him and bring him coke and snort coke all day. So
Oh
the part I was reading to y'all was when she was arguing with him about having this nigga come to her house. You're not even speaking to me because you think your career is over, and you got this nigga coming over here, and he's supposed to be your best friend, and he's not helping you.
oh. What was the name of the book?
And
Did you publish it?
a Miami story, the inner city saga of an urban American hero.
Was it
I'm in
published?
the process of publishing it right now, man.
Well, listen.
I need to be
And
I need to be kicking my ass.
I'm gonna put you in touch with somebody that can possibly help you get that done.
You know what I need right now? I need an editor.
I'm gonna put
hey,
you.
listen. I got 100 chapters in book one, and then I have books 2 and 3.
Well, I want to put you in touch with somebody that's gonna help you get all of that done. All of that done.
Okay,
And
all
I
right.
really want
Hey,
to.
listen,
I want to bring you back. I want to bring you back on. You know what I'm saying? Just because you inspire me. You like this was
I'm
kind of
gonna
an
do some songs. You gotta bring me back to do some songs, Zach.
absolutely, absolutely.
I
You
got
let me
30.
know when
I
you're
got
available.
nigga. I got 30 hit songs, nigga. Like nothing you never heard before.
Give us a verse and a chorus right quick while we on
I
this.
got my own genre, right?
All right, go ahead. What is it?
The cooking and cleaning has taken a beating. My hygiene is not the same. My heart is all broken, it's busted wide open from playing your dumb little game. My friends walk past, they all seem to laugh, they smile and fake their concern. But the one thing for sure, this won't happen no more, cause the one thing that I had to learn, I'm gonna do this without you, baby. It's not about you, baby. I can do this by myself. Yeah, man.
Right now. Yes,
I don't fuck
Lord.
around with that pen, Zach.
And you don't. You never have. That's what's
I
been
don't
the
fuck
most
around with
impressive
that
thing
pen.
about you. You don't mess around. And the whole purpose of it, and I remember this, even though I didn't remember the book, I tried. Because you only read excerpts anyway, so forgive me. I never got you'd give an overlay of the plot, but you read excerpts. And the excerpts
Right.
that doesn't seem, but anyway, the one thing that inspired me is that you taught the writing class because you felt like that was a skill that was hidden in everybody. You said, even if
Right.
you write a letter, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
writing is a way to express yourself.
Right.
And you did some commentary for the Miami Herald, right?
Right. For
They
the
actually
Miami Herald and for the Miami Times.
the Miami Times.
Right.
Didn't
The
they cut you off
editorial
when you were at
page.
Jessup?
Huh?
Didn't they cut you off while you were at Jessup?
Yeah, they cut me off at Justin because when the rhetoric became a little stronger, they cut me off.
Did they, which they do.
Right.
You're
And
like,
I
yeah.
and I and I and I and I wrote it back and I told him, I said, this will be my last time writing this storied publication. Evidently, some of you Negroes fail to acknowledge your inevitable date with the hangman. All right. Right.
That's how you
That's how you
said
burn. That's how you
that's how
burn
you said
bridges,
well
bro.
fuck you too. Is that how you said well
That's how
fuck?
you. That's how you burn bridges.
There you
But
go.
what I was really trying, what I was really trying to say is, man, and what I really want to say is, how can the strongest individual human on the planet be so weak in areas where it counts the most? Why do I have to go to the corner store? Why do I always have to go to the corner store with my nieces and my nephews, and they have to witness me and everybody else as families, thousands and thousands of families? We carry all our hard-earned money to a motherfucker don't look like us, to a motherfucker don't live around us in every instance. And we are not sharp enough to see that we are being willfully and voluntarily victimized. We voluntarily victimize ourselves.
You know, you're talking like Kanye West when they asked him about slavery, 130 years. He goes, that sounds like a choice.
Right. But the difference between Kanye and me is I ain't on that fuck shit right there. I'm just saying, I'm
but
just saying,
but in theory, right? In theory, because most of the masses agree with it. Most of the and in theory, he's partly right because
how so?
because partly people didn't like it, just like what you're saying. You don't like it, but not everybody went to change it. You feel what I'm saying? Whereas if it was a constant battle for everybody, then at some point everybody, we got to back away from this a little bit.
But here's the difference. In Kanye's scenario, if I refuse to be a slave, I could risk my foot getting cut off without any legal repercussions.
Amen.
In this instance, if I refuse to buy Now and Coca-Cola from the Arabs at the corner store, hey, I just go without motherfucking Now and Coca-Cola.
But you're going on the easy side. See what you're
No,
saying, because the
there's
difference
no,
would be is
there's
if you
no,
put
there's no
a
threat.
business,
There's no threat. Listen, there's no threat of bodily harm.
but there could be, but in your solution, in Kanye's theorem, you're saying the solution causes bodily harm. In your theorem, your solution could cause financial risk because to what you could do is say, I'm going to open up, I'm going to provide that opportunity that's not there. Because you
Right.
can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't like say, how come somebody else isn't doing it? Because everybody's saying, how come somebody else isn't doing it? Which puts you in the collective. You have to be outside of the collective and say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring a store. Because, you know, a lot of times it comes down to, like, I granted it's opportunity, but someone has to step up to take that risk to bring us that opportunity.
Okay, that's true. But my question is, why does the system exist to begin with?
There always
How did we get to that?
well, there's
Because
always yes,
because
there's
when I was a
always
little when I was a little boy, when I was a little boy, Mr. Freeman owned that corner store.
yeah.
Miss Ida Mae owned one, and it was one owned by a Cuban Slim.
I like and analyzing sometimes I always say it comes down sometimes it comes down to the fact that their ability to stick together even when it sounds crazy because some of the political rhetoric is kind of like you know you sound crazy and you're contradicting yourself but you're still willing to do it like we as people are very independent thinkers. We're independent thinkers. And
Right,
as an independent thinker, it's like, well, I'm not finna risk nothing. You know what I'm saying? And what
right.
happens is, you know, um, sometimes people will. It's like the Asian people. You know what I'm saying? They some of those races stick together to make things work. And as blacks, right, a majority of our issue is we don't always stick together to make things work. We kind of look out for our own, you know, a lot of times. So our own family, whoever we love, our own clique, our best friends, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Our gang, sometimes our gang, you know, and go against a rival gang that looks just like us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a deep issue, brother. And not to say we can't fix
Yes,
it.
it's a deep issue that's been cemented over the period of 400 years.
Yes.
But if we don't raise the issue every day, then we do ourselves a disservice.
Amen.
If
Amen.
if we don't question why, then we do ourselves a disservice.
Amen. Amen. And we gotta
We
have
have to have
conversations.
huh?
We gotta have conversations like this too.
Yeah, we do. We gotta have more and more. Not only conversations, we have to start have to start to get the ball rolling.
Amen.
Right? I have an idea to contact every member of the National Football League and ask them to invest $10,000 in a uh, convenience store that is
Owned by the community, owned by someone in the community.
no, it's owned by them, but it becomes a franchise
Oh,
like 7-Eleven or Burger King or McDonald's. So everywhere you go, every city you go, inner city you go, it'll actually be the same setup,
amen.
and it's owned by all NFL players. And you know what I'm saying? And we'll start there. Let's take the neighborhood back, bro.
Amen.
From the people that can afford it the most. You know what I mean?
All right. Well,
All
hey,
right.
Rocco, thank you for coming on. We're gonna talk about when you can come back, and we can do it next week. I'm gonna start putting out. I got to start putting out content every week. I've been slacking, so this is
Every
gonna
week,
help me
man.
get
Hey,
back in the groove.
I'm available for you on any day, any day that you want me on, man. We could come on here, we could do comedy. I've been
We
working
gotta
on my
come on here
stand up.
and do comedy and talk about some of the funniest things that we're seeing in
I
our
got a
town.
I got a stand up routine, man. I challenge myself with the pen, bro.
There
I
you
challenge
go.
myself to come up with 100 laughs.
Well, next time we get on here, we're gonna set that up. Let me do that
Okay,
outro
that's a
real
bet.
quick. All right, we
And
gonna have you on the pod
I
next
got 29 more songs to go, bro.
week. All right, let's do it. Hey, guys, thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment, especially for Rocco, because we're trying to get him in the podcast business. Leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, and hit that like button. And thank you for tuning in. There is more coming. There's more coming. Thank you.